Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, a really beautiful day outside, but honestly, I haven't seen the sun at all because I've been glued to my screen watching the absolute madness unfolding on our favorite soap. Grab a huge cup of coffee, or maybe something a lot stronger, because we have so much to unpack today and my brain is literally still spinning from what just happened. And I don't even know where to start with this mess. The writers have officially lost their minds, and I am here for it, but also I am just so exhausted. If you've been following the show for a while, you know that the Hope and Steffy rivalry is basically the engine that keeps Forrester Creations running. It has been for years, but this is entirely different. This isn't about a fashion line, or who gets to sit in the CEO chair, or who gets to design what. This is nuclear. So let's just dive right into the absolute chaos that just dropped, because Steffy Forrester Finnegan just crossed a line that I don't think she can ever come back from. So let's rewind a second and look at the setup. A few episodes ago, we saw Hope completely fall apart. I mean, a full-on psychological breakdown. She had that massive panic attack and collapsed right there on the floor of the Logan Gallery after Brooke basically disowned her and kicked her out of the cabin. It was incredibly hard to watch. You guys know I've been critical of Hope lately, especially with the whole Logan defection thing and the lies, but seeing her hit rock bottom like that, it was brutal. Liam found her. He was frantic, but Hope stubbornly refused to go to the hospital. And you know who was paying attention to all of this? Steffy. Steffy was watching like a hawk. But Steffy wasn't watching out of concern. Oh no? Let's be real, Steffy has been out for blood ever since Hope hijacked the media attention from Eric's Haute Couture show. Steffy has been plotting her revenge, and honestly, I thought she was just going to sabotage the Hope by Logan line. Maybe steal some designs or mess with their suppliers or just badmouth them to the press. But no, Steffy went straight for the jugular. She decided to weaponize Hope's mental health. She started silently gathering evidence of Hope's panic attacks, her emotional instability, her crying fits, and her overall psychological collapse. She documented it all. And here is where it gets really, really dark. Steffy didn't just stop at observing. She used her massive Forrester influence, her endless money, her high-powered lawyers to go directly to a judge. She painted this horrible picture of Hope as a completely unhinged, unstable, unfit mother who is totally incapable of caring for little Beth, but she needed a kicker, right? She needed something to make the court act fast without giving Hope a chance to defend herself. So what does she do? She brings up Hope's new business partners. She points out that Hope is now deeply entangled with Deke Sharp over at Logan, and we all know the Sharp family tree is a complete mess. Deke is tied to Deacon, and Deacon is tied to Sheila Carter. Steffy literally used the fact that Hope is working with Deke to argue that Hope is bringing Beth into the dangerous, violent orbit of Sheila Carter. Which, okay, maybe I'm being too harsh, but that is a massive stretch. Sheila is currently busy terrorizing Finn at the hospital and blackmailing Taylor over visitation rights. She doesn't care about Beth, but the court didn't know that. The court just saw unstable mother and associated with the Sharp Sheila syndicate, and they panicked. Steffy manipulated the system perfectly. What were they thinking, making Steffy this ruthless? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone involved? So the hammer drops. Hope gets slapped with a temporary restraining order. A literal court order that physically separates her from her own daughter. When I watched that scene, I literally gasped out loud. You guys, think about the deep, traumatic history here. Think about what Hope went through when Beth was stolen from her on Catalina Island. She mourned a dead baby 4 months. She grieved and cried and nearly lost her mind back then. Beth is her entire world, her miracle child. To have her ripped away again, not by a stranger, but by her former stepsister using legal loopholes. The fans on social media are absolutely losing their minds right now, and I completely understand why. Twitter is a war zone today. And that leads us to the breaking point. Hope didn't just cry this time. She didn't just lean on Liam and whine about how unfair life is like she usually does. No, she snapped. She just snapped. She went completely, utterly insane. The transition in the acting from a devastated, weeping mother to a feral, vengeful woman was terrifying. She didn't call a lawyer to figure it out. She didn't call Brooke for help. She got in her car and she drove straight to the Cliff House with murder in her eyes. The Cliff House. It always happens at the Cliff House, doesn't it? Steffy was probably sitting there in her living room, looking at the ocean, feeling so smug and triumphant that she finally, permanently destroyed Hope Logan, and then the door flies open. Hope storms in like a literal hurricane. She is screaming, she is crying, she is demanding her daughter back. Steffy, being Steffy, stands her ground and gives that classic Forrester glare, probably telling Hope she brought this on herself by betraying the family and acting crazy. But Hope wasn't there to talk. She wasn't there to negotiate. She lunged. You guys, we haven't seen a catfight like this on B&B in years. This wasn't just Brooke and Taylor throwing wedding cake at each other. It wasn't just a slap and a dramatic gasp. It was a horrifying, messy, brutal physical brawl. Hair pulling, shoving, slapping, crashing into the expensive furniture. They were absolutely destroying the living room. It was so clunky and violent and real. I was sitting there thinking, somebody is going to end up going right through that glass coffee table. It was pure, unadulterated hatred pouring out of both of them. Hope fighting for her child's life, Steffy fighting for her family's dominance, and her own twisted sense of protection. And, of course, guess who shows up right in the middle of this WWE SmackDown? Liam Spencer, because of course he does. Liam is always stuck in the middle of these two women. The man has spent a decade bouncing between these two houses like a ping-pong ball, and now he's standing in the living room watching them try to tear each other apart. Honestly, part of me wanted them to stop fighting each other and just both turn around and punch Liam for a minute. But Liam walks in and he is just frozen in shock. He's watching the mother of his child and his ex-wife trying to literally destroy each other. He finally snaps out of it and tries to physically pull them apart. He's yelling, waving his arms, trying to de-escalate the situation, but it's completely useless. They are way too far gone. Hope is screaming at Liam to do something to help her get Beth back from this monster, while Steffy is yelling that Hope is crazy and needs to be locked up in a psych ward. It's the classic triangle dynamic that we've seen a million times, but it has mutated into something so toxic and violent that I don't think any of them can ever sit in the same room again. The damage is permanent. But wait, it gets worse. Because right when Liam manages to finally separate them, right when they are both gasping for breath, hair messed up, clothes torn, and glaring daggers at each other across the room, Hope drops a nuclear bomb. In the middle of her screaming, Hope blurts out an old secret about Steffy's past. A secret that has been buried for years. The show cut away before we got the full context, but the implication was huge. Hope basically threatened to burn Steffy's entire life and marriage to the ground if she didn't drop the custody block immediately. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what this secret is. Is it about Kelly's original paternity test? Is it something Steffy did to manipulate Liam years ago that never came to light? Or maybe it's something darker, something connected to Sheila or Bill Spencer from back in the day. Whatever it is, Hope made it very, very clear that this secret has the power to shatter the sin marriage forever. Finn thinks Steffy is this strong, moral, perfect pillar of his life. If Hope exposes whatever dark, twisted things Steffy did in the past, Finn might never look at his wife the same way again. And let's zoom out and look at the bigger pattern here for a second. Poor Finn is already hanging by a thread. Sheila just ambushed him at the hospital with signed divorce papers, begging him to force Steffy to let her see Hayes. Finn is terrified of triggering Steffy's rage. He is walking on eggshells every single day. And now, just when Finn is dealing with his psycho-biological mother trying to claw her way back into his life, Hope is about to expose a secret that will blow up his marriage from the inside out. The timing is absolutely devastating. It fits the show's usual style of piling tragedy on top of tragedy, but this feels different. It feels like the end of an era for Sin. How much more can Finn take before he just walks away from the Forrester madness? I'm exhausted. I've been staring at this screen for hours, rewatching the fight scene, trying to process how we got from a simple fashion rivalry over Logan and Forrester to court-ordered child separation and physical assault. Steffy went way too far. Hope went completely feral. Liam is useless as always, and Finn is about to have his heart broken into a million pieces. I mean, what a week! I need a nap. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you Team Steffy for protecting the kids from the sharp influence, or Team Hope because Steffy's revenge was way too cruel and manipulative? And what do you think that secret is? Drop your theories below, because I need some help figuring this out before tomorrow's episode airs.